What up, Schmoedown rockers? Alright. So, first studio match to talk about happened just not too long ago. Felt like getting it out of the way now instead of later, because there won't be too much to talk about aside from maybe some Sin stuff, Sin Live stuff. Yes, I watched that. That's how it helps also keeping up through that. So, which, to anyone who's bothered to even watch that, the S.W.A.G Entertainment Network channel probably has caught up with that. But the match itself was built up since Sin Live and since its initial announcement there. And that was, which was taped literally almost a week ago from what has been actually told. Robert Butler III, RB3, who is a part of the S.W.A.G squad, drip drip, versus Ben the Bandit Goddard, not Bagel Boy. And the real question is, does he earn enough respect to be called just the Bandit and not Bagel Boy this time? Mostly just the boy part bothers him. I just stuck with the Bandit, which is fine because it works, because there is a movie reference out of it in the process. So, to each his own. Even, it comes out dressed like one of the characters from The Big Lebowski. Different movie than your character name, but eventually you'll be the Bandit. Or maybe it's stealing other... Well, another thing is being the Bandit is stealing other people's gimmicks. So, I don't know if that was one. Was just... Or just other references. Maybe that's the goal. I don't know. But what I do know is that it is... It's fine, it's working fine. It turns out we do get a cutscene beforehand, and then they're starting to do a previous thing, and the graphics are looking fine. I even like the added logos, even though a lot has happened apparently since what has happened. What we know was the Mouthy Mercs, by the way. I'll do the updates before we get further into the match itself, which was that, for the Schmoedown fans here, Mouthy Mercs are now Quirky Mercs. The only thing about it that could make sense is given who's the three people in there that I know would definitely be qualifying as Quirky and not so much Mouthy, despite how the live event went that I talked about in the last video. And that, of course, being, Bibiani and Bibiani, Brendan Tidmeyer, and definitely Mara Canopic being one of them. And, yeah, I think and apparently Mara was Emma's first pick, and I'm glad that would have been hers, because if Five Club were still a thing, and instead of it evolving into the Den, and that cutscene was pretty cool. Basically, it was just Grace just doing as we should have figured was her idea. Basically, keep the accent. They hate it. And that's the only cutscene we get. I was hoping for an end cutscene. We didn't get that. It's it's starting the season, though, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of a bummer we didn't have something else to kind of sink our teeth into, but it's a minor complaint. The match itself, I was really hoping for a tie, but it kind of, you could tell the thing shift by round 2. And let's face it, both of them managed to get their perfect rounds. Sure, a GTU rule had to be used by RB3, and yeah, there was a nice amount of crap talk between the two, and the Den, as I had mentioned, which was Grace and them, with Ben, and other crap talk was fine. I wasn't expecting a whole lot. The rookies and whatnot, but at least as far as the Schmoedowns, well, actually not RB3, my bad. He may as well still technically be one, I guess, since he's, despite his 2 losses. Though a thing that he could do is wind up winning every match from this point forward and have only those 3 losses. Hell, it'd be funnier if he went in going 3-3, because he's RB3, that's, make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. But yeah, like I just already said, unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. I mean, mostly because I think it was Middle Earth was apparently starting to, they're starting to have the intergeekdom ones. They're starting to seep into the singles careers all of a sudden. Ever since Merle made Middle Earth a thing, they decided to put it in there now all of a sudden. So I don't know what to tell you on that. So, yeah. But apparently, and it kind of went over somewhat well. He only managed to wind up having, he got 2 questions right for 2 points. One question he had to go to multiple choice, and 2 questions had to go one he managed to get, the other he missed, and RB3 wasn't able to capitalize, which he apparently would have wound up needing. The thing that would have helped him the most is he at the very least needed to hit his... Sadly, he just needed to hit his... All he needed to do was hit his 2-pointer. If he had just been able to get that 2-pointer question, which I even got, I feel bad for him because he picked that number for Kobe and it did not pay off, and that's even far. I don't know what's sadder, the fact that it didn't pay off or the fact that I guess Kobe doesn't have the magic juju that Emma McAllister seems to be having on people with the shirts. I'm just saying. I mean, Guy won with wearing the Emma shirt. Ben did. I mean, and ever since Spectacular, this has happened. There's a juju there. The doll face. It's the doll face. I don't know if we want to call it really a curse or so much as I would say the doll face gift. In this case, because Ben did both of his matches off of that, and it was also just the fact that Oyama just didn't have a good game because some reason live events he can't keep it together, and that makes me sad. But what you don't do. But hopefully things with S.W.A.G does work out well. It doesn't help that but that was RB3 and that was a smaller match, and it does suck because I was hoping RB3 would at least pull up a little bit more of a match and make Ben truly earn it. But I guess he earned it enough according to the post-match interviews and with the whole bagel thing. Now he can rest easy as the Bandit. And I guess everyone else hopefully can. Even though... because I guess he's earned it now through, at least as far as Sin Live, and it's going to be interesting to see what they're finally going to say Monday, or the brief little hints they're going to give in the Friday match. I didn't get to see it because apparently there's an Outlaw Nation one with Video Drew. So I had to support my dungeon. So I missed that before the live thing. But anyways, that question was for 2 weeks' notice, and I immediately knew it, and I just couldn't pull the name until like 2 to 3 seconds in. Sure, I mean I'm not there in the lights, so which I was surprised myself that I was able to pull that out and not blank like I did with the other reactions that I did for. Smash for dungeon related stuff. But anyways, which I may still continue to do it that way. I was hoping to do this in a live stream, but I'm just gonna do it like this for now until I can figure out how to live stream or how to get Streamlabs going. And but anyway, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that, guys. But anyways. Oh, great, I got a belch hoodie on. Figure that shit out. But anyways. So. And I guess he only got his 2-pointer with that. And he missed that. Got his 3, but wasn't able to get the 5. I don't blame him. That 5 seemed pretty hard to me. And it was nice to see those matches. But overall, yeah, there's kind of... Goddard had the win. Especially given what happened with the round 2 matches with him, and he wound up lucking out on not getting opponent's choice, but he wound up with a not so great category in Tennessee Sci-Fi, which Really didn't help him that Ben wound up getting, since it was a one-pointer, went to multiple choice on the last question, which he was able to get multiple choice, I guess, for most of them. And I think he might have got 2-pointer, or was it all multiple choice? I'm blanking here on that part. But I do remember the last question being one that he needed to get in order to tie it at the very least, 14-14. And then it wound up going, and he wound up getting it, putting a 2-point gap on him, which he needed that 2-pointer initially, so that even if Ben got his thing, he could have gotten the 3-pointer, which would have at least forced Ben to at least get to his 3-pointer, you know? Goddard, the Bandit, at this point, as we're going to be starting to call him from this point forward. And it sucks, because RB3, I think, really wanted to prove himself, and it didn't happen, and then, of course, Kate's doing her accent thing. I didn't hate it, unlike most people, especially when you're putting, but I understand that the whole thing about it being annoying, which is why Grace wanted her to keep it. At first, I thought the way she's talking, she's sounding more in charge as opposed to Kate herself. But yeah, I like the fact that her advising is actually working in Kate's favor. Don't know how her and Emma was going to be, but it would have been very, very interesting. Oh boy. But the thing is, I wouldn't have wanted to actually hate her. I don't want my heart to break for an entire season. It's already having its moments here, given what I've had to go through behind BTS up to this point, and with my band situation, if you hadn't heard about that already. Which is why I was glad Chiefs won that time, but it only lasted about 4 days until I finally wanted to explode about the band situation properly, because I was I need to figure out. I'm still going to try to play stuff. I don't know. I might throw some stuff for Dungeon exclusive there. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I want to throw something up here, but I want it to be good. Not what happened. Not whatever the guy. It was just bad, that track. But anyway, overall, Den has a 1-0. So it's between them and the Finstock Exchange are right now top tier at the moment. In terms of, like, at least as far as the managers are considered, the management is considered of each team. Those are our top 2 teams at the moment. Currently, because of the triple threat, the losses aren't looking good for the Mouthy Mercs. Now the Quirky Mercs. Which is why it's going to suck for them when Morrow doesn't exactly win against Smets. But anyways, overall, I'm starting to enjoy what we're getting out of this. I'm glad we're still keeping the same logos. Those are not, that's like we had for last season. We're just, everything else, especially like the logos and everything. This is what happens when you finally get Nerd Chronic himself finally running everything, including the edits. So it's making everything look really, really good. I mean, the promos are already looking really, really good, and now him adding those previously things just to keep people up, which I'm glad he's doing that. And also just now, all the editing that normally comes into it and how it's looking now. And everything else for New Era. I'm excited. I cannot wait to see what's coming up next when it comes, especially going into the Bonnie, which is weird that he is a heel, but he's kind of playing it more tweener-ish, really. Goddard, even though he's sort of part of technically a heel faction, so, but even though Kate's not, like, playing the mama part a lot, which I guess is that portion, it's kind of annoying, can kind of come off as annoying, or at least embarrassing. It seems annoying, but she's doing it more like mom trying to take care of you, embarrassing things, and just make them come off like punks, even though their trivia knowledge is the other way around. Which, speaking of that, the Den's got a nice momentum at least going forward into the teams match, which I guess because it's teams, it counts for 2 points for those factions. I'm guessing. I'm trying to remember how hardly forgot the rules because these things are these more sports aspects that they're throwing in is freaking monkey wrenching me a little bit in my brain, and it's hurting. But I'm trying, okay? And I'm sorry this is long, but that's what's happening with that. Paul and Tom, I wish they had a better, clever name versus Deep 13, which is essentially, I guess, Whitney and Orlando Duralde as a team for the Burning Druids, which they're going to need that after the Burning Druids had their one loss. Luckily, they had one loss instead of what happened with now Quirky Mercs. And apparently, I kind of already heard of Finstock's changing the logo up a bit, and apparently so is Usual Suspects. Not sure why. I guess maybe for color-coded reasons, because they were red and Den's was red. I don't know. Just so they can color coordinate who's who. And I hope the dungeon doesn't have to go through. I like the logo we got. I really do. I understand you have to go a little green with it, but because we're primarily in Redom anyway. But still, I'm fine with it. Leave it alone. It looks badass. I don't want something looking stupid. I don't. Because Finstock's Exchanges is decent. I prefer the bowl they had, even though, yeah, the bowl's from the stock exchange stuff. But I think that was the point. I think the sponsorship is becoming a slight creative, but isn't as much of a creative. I feel like they're executive consultants at this point, and their consulting's coming off more like an executive producer to the point of being a showrunner. From the way these logos are, too many changes here. We've already had enough from the Villains Heroes thing with Jay, which didn't turn out so bad because he still kind of was involved, but now Emma's barely involved to the point where she's not even going to have, and that part, like, set me off. Not that I hadn't already said that before. Jesus. But anyways, I turned on too long. I was hoping to make this shorter again. I'm sorry. Other things came up in my mind I had to just throw out there. So, all right. What did you guys think of the match between RB3 and Ben Goddard? Leave a comment below. Let me know. As always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. Did I just do my old logo? Oh, jeez. We're keeping it in. I don't care. Dula. Just keep it real, keep it rocking. If you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown rocks. Apparently Skybound Entertainment. And yeah, Schmoedown rocks. Oh, cooking. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Sorry, I had to do a little Macho Man-ish. Take care, y'all.